Ah, wolves, wolves, wolves. The wolves turn into goats. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna lie. You're still going to the championship next season, but still, you did everyone a service today in the Premier League. Wolves 2-2 Arsenal. Am I celebrating an Arsenal draw? Yes. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Yeah, baby.
But still, this is what we like to see. This is what we like to see. The title race is wide open. You might be surprised to see me covering not a Chelsea game, but hey, this is an important game for this season. I was watching it live, so I thought I might as well drop a video, like, subscribe, all that good algorithm stuff. It would be much appreciated. And let's get into this match reaction. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this first half, I was ready to title this video Arsenal and Wolves are perfect NyQuil replacements or something like that. It was rough. It was rough. I'm not gonna lie, it was rough. Arsenal were handling business as they should. Wolves weren't really producing much in this first half. I mean, even looking at the lineups, I'm not gonna act like I watch much Wolves or I know much about this team. I know this second half of the season they started to put some points together, which this Mane kid is supposed to be really exciting. At least from the highlights I've seen, Bueno showed me a lot of. I mean, we could talk about his goal, but just generally showed me a lot. He did get skinned a couple times by Madueke in that first half, but nothing. I mean, Madueke, as a Chelsea fan, I mean,
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble. And I don't want to be in big trouble.
I mean, maybe poorly timed use of a Jose quote, considering what happened yesterday in that Madrid Benfica game. Disgusting. We're not having that. But keeping it focused on this game, Madueke's end product is exactly what you expect it to be. Let's just keep it like that. But generally, the interesting thing here is Saka playing in the 10. I mean, honestly, respect to Arteta. Not because Saka scored a goal, but because their front line, their attack is not spooky at all. And I could see he's trying to figure out something to get this attack looking scary. But I don't think it's a coincidence that the second goal is scored and assisted by defenders. I mean, let's just put it how it is. But still, Saka in the 10, I don't think Saka really was able to get into the game too much. He was solid. I'm not going to say he was bad, but I think in the 10, it just, I don't know. Some of the strengths of his game, obviously, you can't really, like, especially his cross, you can't really make use of it there. But I will say, for the first goal, great movement from Saka. He was standing like around the penalty spot. Rice, a delicious ball. You know, call that, hey, I don't know if anyone's ever said this. We're about to coin this, the rice ball. We're about to coin it the rice ball. The rice ball was scrumptious. He was kind of in that left half space delivering, and that's a really dangerous spot to put a ball in because it's difficult for the keeper to judge whether or not to come out and get it. The defenders, you can like split them, and it was perfectly weighted. Saka gets his head on, just a glancing header. I think it megs the keeper, Jose Sa, and 1-0 Arsenal. And once that happened, honestly, I didn't have much faith that Wolves were going to make any kind of comeback here. I thought, Arsenal, as long as Wolves keep it 0-0, they have a chance. If it goes 1-0, Arsenal will probably see it out. But maybe I overestimated Arsenal. I don't watch too much Arsenal personally, at least especially in the Premier League. I watch them a little bit in the Champions League. But I thought they would see this game out, and I was wrong. But to give them their credit, that first goal was nice. And we get on to the second. I mean, Angel Gomez, before we get onto that, Angel Gomez he was going through it. Bro was getting cooked in terms of just fouls and tackles, and I guess he just couldn't continue. He ends up getting subbed off. And really the first half, there's not much more to it, not too eventful. The second half, though, cinema. Absolute cinema.
Yeah, baby.
At first, hincapie, this goal here, they thought it was offsides, and it definitely was not, and I'm glad it got overturned. I mean, I'm not glad, but, we got to keep it honest. But a great line-splitting pass from Gabriel through the lines to hincapie, who was kind of inverting. He was more narrow, inverting, able to dart straight into the box, and a great finish from him. Honestly, this dude is looking better than the Arsenal wingers. Let's keep it a fact. Let's just keep it real. Let's keep it real. But at that point, 2-0, I thought it was genuinely over. Like I 1-0, I'm like, okay, maybe Wolves, if they go for it, they could get back into it. But here's the thing about Wolves in this game, and I guess just Wolves in general. When it's 1-0 and you're a team that you know you're inferior, as Wolves are, 1-0 is kind of like, still kind of cagey. You can't really, I mean, at that point, you probably just should because no one's expecting much from you, but you can't really just throw everything at it because you're like, we're still in the game. And if we do that and they get the second, then we're kind of cooked. But despite still being kind of cagey, Arsenal were able to break them down, get the second. And at that point, I guess that's just why they say 2-0 is the most dangerous lead or whatever. I mean, I don't know about all that. But either way, at that point, Wolves just, okay, let's just throw caution at the wind. 2-0. There's not much more to hold on for. We're going for it. And then that's when the game opens up. Wolves go for it. I think it's Bueno, the center back Bueno, Santiago Bueno. He plays a ball across to Hugo Bueno, who's the left wing back, who's all the way over on the right side. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know much about Hugo Bueno. I'm not gonna pretend like I was up on game, but this finish from Hugo Bueno,
Yeah, baby.
beautiful, beautiful. He gets the ball, cuts it in on his left, and this is what you would expect. You know, someone of the quality. I shouldn't say the quality. Someone who plays in the position that Madueke plays in, that Saka plays. Not to say Saka can't necessarily do this, but you know, not too often you see it. Low-key, Ethan Nwaneri got this on lock more than Saka personally, but either way, Hugo Bueno showing the technique, the ability, the quality to cut that in and bend that into the top left corner. Beautiful, beautiful. I mean, it's not as good as Vinny's goal yesterday, but it's damn good. Let's just put it like that. It's damn good. And Raya, I honestly, that's a hard goal to save. I'm not going to say Raya should have saved it. I mean, maybe a taller keeper saves it. I know you don't like to hear that, but we're going to talk about Raya later in this game, which is annoying because I have Raya and Gabriel in my fantasy. When it was 2-0, I thought it was over. I was like, okay, at this point, just keep the clean sheet. Let me get my fantasy points. But hey, this is better. This is better. I'm not going to lie. This is way better. Wolves keep pushing. Eventually, they bring on Eze for Madueke. I mean, Madueke wasn't doing much. Not surprised there. Eze, on the other hand, I shouldn't even say on the other hand, similarly, didn't do much when he came on. Eze, we got to talk about this eventually. Eze's got to be one of the most disappointing signings of the season. Let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. I know he had that hat trick against Spurs. We're not going to... He's been riding the coattails of that hat trick for months. Let's just be honest. Eze, and maybe I should do a video on the most disappointing signings this season, but Eze, for a Premier League proven player who was putting Crystal Palace on his back last season, winning trophies with that club, for him to come in and be this disappointing is one of the most shocking signings of the season in that aspect. Because people want to talk about Florian Wirtz, and I mean, no one really talks about Turkey because Turkey's actually delivering, but Xavi Simons, people like that, I guess these Bundesliga signings, and want to dog on them. Oh, they're so hyped and they come into Premier League and then they can't prove it, even though Wirtz and Xavi Simons have been picking it up momentum. But you can't have that same excuse for Eze. He's a Premier League player, one of the better Premier League players from a non Big Six side or whatever you want to call it. So you would expect to come in and slot in a churning Arsenal team and give them something that they don't already have. I know he had that assist against City, which was like, okay, this is what we want to see from Eze, and then the hat trick against Spurs. But come on now, it's mid to late February. It's been a run of spooky games from Eze. Let's just keep it real. And I'm not sure what the future is for him. Obviously, it's only his first season there. He's not that old. I think he's like 27, 28. Let me see. 27, yeah. So he still has time to grow into Arsenal, I guess. But let's be real. Arsenal bought Eze to deliver this season. That was a win now signing. Let's be real. Similarly to Victor Gyokeres, who's a win now signing, who's also, I think, 27, 28. 27, yeah. These guys or win now signings. They're not signing for potential anymore. They're signing for people they thought would come in and deliver right now. And Gyokeres, Gyokeres had me like, whoa, hold up. I thought I was watching Liam Delap. Liam Delap's like a 22-year-old. I mean, I can't give too many excuses because he also played in the Premier League last season. That was his first season in the Prem. I don't want it to seem like I'm running defense for Liam Delap. He's been disappointing as well. But that's not that shocking, given the price tag, the age, and we're signing for potential. Gyokeres scored like 100 goals in the last 2 years, was in the Ballon d'Or, like top 30 or whatever, and he's coming in and looking like Liam Delap. I mean, take that from that what you will. And Gabby Jesus comes in, who honestly didn't do much either, let's be real, but it's just good to see Gabby Jesus play. Honestly, I didn't think there'd be a time where we'd see him play consistently again. Honestly, it was looking spooky for him. So the fact that he's consistently coming in rotation, getting minutes, is nice to see. But at the end of the game, boy, head loss FC. But we'll get to that. But the game keeps going. Eventually, Saka comes off. I don't think it was a crazy injury or anything. I think they were just being cautious. But he felt something. Let's not mess around. Trossard comes on. The Trossard plays on the left, Eze in the 10, and then Martinelli moved out to the right. Martinelli, absolutely non-existent. This dude, I mean, less said about the Arsenal attack, the better, because Martinelli was also disappointing. But Trossard comes on immediately, looks more dangerous. I'll just put it like that. And this Edozie kid comes on. I think it was Rodrigo comes on. I think he's a new signing or relatively new to the Premier League, at least from what the commentators were saying. I don't know much about Wolves and their new team. I know they made a couple signings, but I think Edozie, this is actually his senior debut in the Premier League, and he comes on and he ends up being an important sub. I ain't gonna lie, maybe Arteta got out coached. I don't know. I mean, we can't really say that much based on how that goal went in. Eventually, Trossard goes off because he got like shoulder checked by Santi Bueno. I mean, they were trying to pull some dark arts, low-key. He was sitting, standing. If he has a concussion or something, then fair enough. But it looked like they were just trying to buy time eventually. But still, I think that was a bit naughty from Santi Bueno. But it brings on Calafiori, and wow, what what a 5 minutes for Ricardo Calafiori, because eventually, Hugo Bueno had the ball out on the left side. He passes it to Mane. Mane crosses it into the box. And the two guys on my fantasy team, Gabriel and Raya, come on. No communication. They both go for the ball. Gabriel kind of backs up into Raya pause, and then Raya could not claim the cross properly. And the ball falls to Tom Edozie. On his debut, a beautiful volley, just on target, strikes it well, hits off Calafiori, who's on the line because Raya is now out of position, and Gabriel's on the line too, and hits off Calafiori onto the post, and then hits Calafiori again, and then goes into the back of the net. That was cinema.
Yeah, baby.
Cinema. Absolute cinema. I celebrated as if I was watching Chelsea, bro. I was gassed for Wolves. Wolves turned into goats. And then at the end of the game, as you can see, Gabby Jesus gets a yellow card because he goes and pushes Mascara. Wolves is Mascara. Now, obviously Arsenal has a Mascara too. It wasn't on the pitch, but Wolves is Mascara. He goes and pushes him because the head loss is crazy. And now if we look at the title race, I'm not going to lie, Arsenal, who played their game first, City now the pressure's on City because it seems like whoever plays second, it seems that pressure and they don't pick up the points. But City are playing Newcastle. Is it at the real question is it's at St. James's? No, it's at the Etihad. So, hey, City, if it was at St. James's, that would have been a bit spooky. I'm not gonna lie, but at the Etihad, there's room there for City to close the gap. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say it's guaranteed to happen, but there's room for City to close the gap here. And if they win that game in hand, it goes to a 2-point gap in the run-in for the rest of the season. Not gonna lie, it's getting spooky. It's getting spooky, and I need City to win that game. this Arsenal bottle will feed us for generations. Let's just put it like that. But either way, I appreciate you guys for watching if you made it this far. I know I don't usually do Arsenal games or other games. I'm trying to do a little bit more, trying to up the content. I watch other games other than just Chelsea games, so I might as well do some videos on them. Although something that I do just like to watch games for fun. But I appreciate you guys once again. Like, subscribe, all that good algorithm stuff. Like I said, I'd be much appreciated, and I'll see you guys for the Chelsea game this weekend. Peace.